Welcome to the Deep Dive. This is where we take the sources you send us, dig into them, and pull out the key insights for you. Basically, helping you get informed quickly and hopefully enjoyably.
And today we're looking at something quite personal. It's an American's perspective on living in the Netherlands, specifically how their feelings about it have changed over time. This is all based on a YouTube video they made.
Exactly. We've got the transcript here, and it's quite insightful. This person talks about these unexpected things that made them really start to feel like the Netherlands was home.
So our mission today is to explore those surprises, figure out what clicked for them, and maybe see what that tells us about, cultural differences and finding your footing in a new place.
Okay, let's dive in then. So one of the first big adjustments mentioned, maybe not surprisingly, was about convenience. Shopping, specifically.
Right. The lack of, say, 247 shops or those huge stores like Target and Walmart that are so common in the U.S.
Yeah, especially where they were in Haarlem. Apparently, you might find more late-night options in parts of Amsterdam, but Haarlem was different.
And there was the specific incident, wasn't there? Needing something for their son after 10 p.m. and, well, finding things closed.
Yes. That initial shock, that feeling of, I can't just get what I need right now, that really stood out as a difference.
It highlights that sort of expectation of constant availability many Americans might have.
Definitely. But, and this is the fascinating part, that feeling didn't last. The script says they eventually reached a point where they don't miss those big American stores at all.
Which is quite a shift, going from frustration to actually preferring the Dutch way.
Exactly. And it wasn't just about getting used to it. It was about finding something better in the local experience.
What was it then, specifically?
It seems to be the whole atmosphere. They mentioned local supermarkets, Albert Heijn specifically, and the Saturday and Monday markets in Haarlem.
Okay.
And it's the community feel, running into people, friendly chats, seeing people just interacting.
So less transactional, more social.
Yeah, exactly. Even little things, like some places having outdoor seating or free coffee at Albert Heijn. Apparently some even have DJs.
DJs. In a supermarket, that's certainly different.
Right. And seeing younger people working there, socializing, it creates this lively feeling, a buzz. Same with the markets, people eating, talking.
It sounds much more like a community hub than just a place to buy groceries.
Totally. He actually uses the word soul, saying the U.S. stores felt like they lacked soul compared to this.
And he also mentioned the feeling of being overwhelmed in the big U.S. stores.
Yes, like Sam's Club. Just too many options, maybe a bit stressful.
Which contrasts with the Dutch experience described maybe fewer choices, but a more pleasant, less frantic environment.
And it even changed how they shop. No more giant weekly hauls. Instead, it's more frequent trips, getting fresher stuff, and actually enjoying it rather than it being a chore.
That's a pretty big lifestyle adaptation, shifting from efficiency-focused shopping to something more experiential.
It really is. And that sense of connection found in the shops seems to tie into the next point. This unexpected feeling of community overall.
Ah, yes, beyond just the shopping. It sounds like it was about those unplanned encounters, too.
Yeah, like bumping into people who follow their channel while just out for a walk. Little moments like that.
And observing a generally kind of positive atmosphere, lots of smiling faces, particularly noted in Amsterdam.
Right. It suggests a certain baseline contentment, maybe,
Right.
which can make a place feel welcoming.
There was also this idea of a more organic way of being social, less structured, perhaps.
Yeah, the phrase used was hugging the block, just being outside without needing a specific destination or reason.
That does feel different from a potentially more schedule-driven social culture, a comfort in just being in the public space.
And that links to another surprise, embracing a slower pace of life.
Which was unexpected for this person, given their background.
Apparently, yes. They describe themselves as coming from a background of hard work, multiple jobs, always busy.
So slowing down wasn't the default setting.
Not at all. But they found themselves enjoying simple things. Taking a proper walk at lunchtime, just sitting and watching the world go by, savoring a coffee.
It's a real shift in priorities, valuing those moments of pause.
And longer meals, too. Not rushing through lunch breaks or family dinners.
That really speaks to work-life balance, perhaps being more ingrained in the culture there.
It seems so. And the amazing thing is, they mentioned having previously disliked not being rushed. So to completely flip that perspective is quite something.
It shows how deeply the environment can influence our perception of time and productivity. They even felt something was off when going back to the U.S., right? The faster pace felt jarring.
Yeah, like their internal rhythm had completely recalibrated. Okay, another surprising element. The language barrier started to feel less like a barrier.
Interesting, even without being fluent in Dutch or other European languages.
Right. They mentioned not knowing French, German, Italian, Spanish well, but still feeling increasingly okay navigating different countries in Europe.
So it wasn't about suddenly mastering languages, but maybe a change in attitude.
That seems to be it. A growing respect for different languages and cultures somehow made the differences feel less intimidating. Like the connection was possible, even without perfect fluency.
That's a subtle but powerful shift. Less focus on the barrier, more on the willingness to engage despite it.
And it sparked a desire to learn more French, German, Spanish, and especially Dutch. There was that quote. Uh,
Ik moet elke dag Nederlands spreken alsof ik moet houden van Bonn.
yes, that's the one. What's the rough meaning again?
Something like, I have to speak Dutch every day as if I have to love it. Or maybe as if my life depends on it. It conveys real commitment, almost like embracing it fully.
Right, so it's gone from obstacle to an enthusiastic pursuit.
And even the challenge of not always knowing what language people were speaking around them wasn't seen negatively, more just an observation of the diverse European environment.
It all builds towards these final moments where it really clicks, where the Netherlands starts to feel like home.
Like the emotional reaction just walking over a bridge.
Yeah, that was powerful. Just an everyday act triggering this deep sense of belonging.
And the flip side, feeling out of place when visiting the U.S. again. That really cements the shift.
Definitely. Home wasn't where they started anymore, in a sense.
And they're looking forward to diving deeper into Dutch culture now.
Yes, mentioning wanting to go to a Formula One race, but emphasizing experiencing Dutch culture first. That priority says a lot.
And ending with gratitude for the people who helped create that feeling of home. It's a nice touch.
So wrapping it up, the journey involved appreciating local shops over big chains, finding community in everyday interactions, embracing slowness, and finding that language wasn't the hurdle it first seemed, thanks to cultural respect.
Yeah, the key surprising elements really center on shifting values, finding richness in things that might initially seem inconvenient or different.
For me, the real aha moment here is that realization that what we think makes a place feel like home, like those familiar conveniences, might not be the most important thing after all.
It suggests that opening up to different cultural values can lead to unexpected feelings of well-being and belonging.
Which brings us to a thought for you, the listener. Think about your own experiences. What makes somewhere feel like home for you? Were there unexpected things?
Could embracing different ways of doing things, different values, maybe in your own neighborhood or somewhere new, deepen your own sense of connection?
Maybe reflect on a place you've lived or visited. What were those small details, those perhaps surprising things that really made it feel like home, or maybe kept it from feeling that way?
Often, it's in those unexpected nuances that we find the most interesting insights about ourselves and how we connect with the world.